Right, so I just wanted to do a bit of a quick video just showing how to correctly use how I believe a typical Scandinavian rat-tail tang knife should be used if found in a survival situation. Most people believe these aren't for batoning. I personally don't believe any knife is for batoning. That's not what the tool's for, but obviously I know my knives can. This one's had such a hard life. I've had this since before I even really started getting into this seriously, and I beat the living snot out of this, to be honest. And used to have a guard, but I rasped it away, so it gives it a bit more of a better tool for fine carving and things like that. And I'm not a huge fan of Scandinavian grinds for a general camp knife, but for wood carving and woodworking, they're the king of knife bevels, to be honest, in my opinion. So I just want to take a bit of a look at using wedges. Moskahansky years ago demonstrated using a full tang knife in the same way, and if you use this correctly and safely, you will not really risk breaking the tang. If you use the wedges to split down larger pieces of wood, this is a much more replaceable item than this is. If you break this in a survival situation completely off at the tang, where you've just got a blade that isn't as versatile as it is with a handle, this can be made, if this breaks, this can be replaced. This can't, unless you're good at flint knapping, and you can make anything at that point, really, can't you? So, little video, just how I would use a Scandinavian style rat-tail tang in a survival situation. I believe, like I say, I think the best survival knife is the knife you've got on you, and a lot of people carry a type of knife like this. And most people who get lost in the woods and the wilderness are ones just practicing bushcraft. They don't go off into the wilderness to get lost, to practice. They have the knife on that they're using for their bushcraft tasks. And in that case, you're normally going to get lost with an axe and other tools. But if this was the only thing with you, and using these wedges, you can effectively break down larger pieces of wood. Most times you show people breaking down pieces of wood this big. I'm just going to be showing some smaller examples. But if you use this safely, there is really no risk of it breaking. Don't know if I'll do this. I would recommend this with a wooden handle knife, because you could split it, but with a synthetic, which a lot of Moras are, and a lot more grippier than wood, to be honest. This is a really nice grip. Not sure about the colour, not my favourite part about it, but really nice, comfortable grip. So with synthetic rat-tail tang Mora, I'm going to show you how to use these wedges to break down larger pieces of wood into kindling. Right, so I'm just going to demonstrate how to correctly split possible firewood. This is quite dry, but you can imagine this might be something quite damp, but the centre might be nice and dry. You might want to utilise that for kindling in this situation. Just with the Mora, like I say, I don't know if I would recommend doing this with a wooden handled rat-tail tang, but this one's held up nicely. The plastic shouldn't really break as a result of batoning, and if we do this safely, we'll never really see any problem with the tang snapping either. So if we look at this piece of wood, there's a nice split. There's a knot on that side, so hopefully that doesn't cause us any bother. It's actually makes some good kindling. Makes nice shaves, nice curls. But anyway, I'm just going to utilise this wedge. It's a bit small, there's a bit of a split, so hopefully this works nicely. And this is just going to use this baton. Now, with a rat-tail tang, I believe, instead of trying to baton all the way through and holding onto the knife, because when you baton this, the blade wants to go down and the handle wants to go up. If you're putting downward pressure on this, it's liable to snap there, which I've heard. And that's so basically, when you come to batoning this piece of wood, you just want to hold the blade as light as possible. So when that goes down, that's allowed to raise up. We're just going to be striking the spine right in the centre. Hopefully it works. So when it comes to taking this out, try not to do it like that, because you could slip and nick your thumb. So try and pull it away downwards like that, safely. No twisting. You never want to twist a rat-tail tang or any tang knife side to side, because you can either bend it or snap it with a rat-tail anyway. So just put that in the sheath. I'm experimenting with a neck carry, and I'm starting to like it actually. Normally I carry it on the belt, and but this makes a bit of a change. So I'm trying to take a wedge. It might take some fettling to get in, Sometimes they fit alright and then sometimes they don't. So we just want to line it up. So we've got going. Hopefully that knot, oh I've missed the knot, that's good. And there's a split, so if there's a split, possibly best to try and do it at an angle, so you're distributing the pressure all along the top, keeping it even and not right in the centre, causing a bigger split. So we're just going to I've got the wedge held up nicely, didn't follow up the split, so then I went to the centre, and again using the knife we can take this further. So make sure there's no knots, there's no split, but we're keeping out the way of the knot. So we'll just, I don't really agree with baton in any type of knife anyway, to be honest. I don't really think it's what they're for, but in a situation when you might only have a Scandinavian molar like that, which is a rat tail, this is probably the best way of safely using this, because this is remateable if this breaks, and if your life relies on it, that isn't really replaceable if it breaks. So if that's the only tool you've got, you need to really treat it well, and I feel this is a good way of getting to the softer or drier wood for fire making. So just try and get that in again. This might take some fettling because what it is, we seem to have mushroomed the edge on the last pass, so we just want to take that and fine it up a bit. And square it up as well. Get as fine as we can without it breaking. So we'll thin the edge. And try and get this to go in again. So try and keep it lateral, so we'll spread any pressure across the top of the wedge. Again, wedge is holding up nicely. You might want to take that little burr off with the knife. It's not the hardest wood, but with a bigger baton and a bigger wedge, and even with logs possibly this wide, just baton halfway into it and use a number of wedges across the top and orientate the pressure along the top. So as you can see with the wedge, although it takes longer than trying to baton it with the knife itself, it's something I don't really agree with. So we're getting some knots in there, but went a nice dry inner wood there, ideal for kindling or ideal for trying to make feather sticks and things like that. Probably want them a bit longer for feather sticks, to be honest, but for getting little curls and ideal. Like, you want them longer really for feather sticks, probably the length from your fingertips to your elbow, to your armpit even. But like you can see, you can really start breaking down wood into smaller manageable kindling, and obviously you can take it a bit further than that, and there's a knot on that one. But if this is the only tool you've got, because in all fairness the best survival knife is the knife you've got on you, and a lot of people travel with these in the woods, and if you find yourself needing to use this for heavy tinder collection or small match sized pieces of wood for fires, I recommend this is the safest way of keeping the knife in working order. So that was just my quick video on how I would go about safely using a rat tail tang knife like this molar with the Scandi grind, the rat tail, in creating more manageable dry pieces of kindling which you could use in a survival situation to create a reliable fuel for your fire. Like I say, using the wedges, there is really little risk of this breaking. You should never really be prying with a knife of any. I would never pry with even a full tang knife, because it might not snap but it'll bend, and it's just not what the tool's for. Use bits of wood to pry. Use a nice hard piece of dry wood to pry, like a large wedge on a stick basically. So just a video showing how to use a typical bushcraft rat tail tang knife to break down larger pieces of wood into kindling. So thank you for watching. Please rate, comment and subscribe. Keep up the support, really do appreciate it for making content such as this. So just want to say thank you for that, and I'll catch you on the trail again.